from Wood.
Stephen A. Smith, 7 Eastern. I heard Perk might make an appearance. And then we got NBA Countdown, Maria, Jalen, J, Woj. They'll be all over that. Then how about this, Max? The draft lottery. And then finally, Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals between the Clippers and Suns. Everyone is also streaming live, right, on the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere. One app, one tap. NFL, here we go. After 11 seasons suiting up for the Detroit Lions, Matthew Stafford has a new home. He'll be trying to upgrade a Rams passing attack that averaged just over 250 yards per game last season. Sean McVay pretty excited about his new quarterback. McVay recently had this to say about Stafford in an interview with the Monday Morning Quarterback. Bro, that dude's a bad MFer. McVay said to Stafford, whatever people say about him, as good as it can be, he's even better than advertised. It makes sense to him. The guy's ability to see the game, his ability to draw on his experiences, the feel that he has, it's pretty special and unique. We know the Rams are excited about 2021, but Stephen A., who is the favorite to win the NFC West?
The NFC West, I think it should be Seattle, personally. They got Russell Wilson, and that's really what it comes down to. They still got Russell Wilson. They got DK Metcalf. They got Tyler. They got Lockett. I mean, and they've got a running game. And I don't suspect that their defense will be as bad as it used to be. When I think about the NFC West, I always think about Russell Wilson first. If Russell Wilson wasn't there, then it would be a different ball game, because the Rams' defense is elite. Make no mistake about it. And Stafford's a stud. He hasn't shown what he can do in the postseason because we haven't seen much of him in that regard. So he's got a lot to prove, and I understand that. But all he's got to do is be a little better than Jared Goff, which shouldn't be hard. And I understand that. But in the end, I still say Russell Wilson is special. And as long as he's there, you've got to give him the nod.
I like the Rams as the best team in the NFC West, and this is a very competitive division. It's the best division in football on paper. Look, I don't know if I believe everything McVay is saying about Matt Stafford. It's his new guy. They traded a ton to get him. Jared Goff, who was the number 1 overall pick, with whom they had been to a Super Bowl and a 2-time Pro Bowler. Plus, what was it, 2 firsts and a 4th on top of that? I mean, it's a crazy amount to give up for Stafford. But in Matthew Stafford, you have a guy whose arm talent, the talk for the first 5-6 years, a top 5 arm talent in the NFL. He has elite talent, it seems, but he couldn't win, right? Well, why couldn't he win? Because of Detroit. This is a legacy-defining move for not only the Rams, but for Stafford. Because if he falls on his face, if the Rams come up short, he just wasn't a winner. But if they win, we get it. He really was elite. It was just, dressed up wrong. He was on a losing team. Stephen A., you know who Matt Stafford is? Maybe, we'll see, the Damian good enough. And now he's going to a team with a real good offensive line, with defensive playmakers, with offensive weapons, and with an inventive head coach who's already been to a Super Bowl and who's singing his praises, saying even better than we thought he'd be. I like the Los Angeles Rams in the toughest division in football.
Max Kellerman, don't you ever in this lifetime mention Damian Lillard in the same breath as Matthew Stafford. And I understand what you're talking about in terms of his late game comebacks. But Damian Lillard has done his stuff in the postseason, not just the regular season. Remember when he waved goodbye to Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and OKC? I'm just saying Matthew Stafford hasn't done that in the postseason. That's all I'm saying.
No, but he hasn't been on good teams.
Matthew. All right, then, but he is the star quarterback, Max Kellerman, and they've been to the playoffs 3 times. He's never won a playoff game in his career. I'm not saying that's his fault. I'm just saying that he don't have those moments to lean on like Damian Lillard. We saw Damian Lillard do it in the regular season and the postseason.
That's why
we haven't seen that from Matthew Stafford in the postseason. I'm just telling you, don't mention him in the same breath as Damian Lillard. He hasn't done it in the postseason. He's 0-3. He's never won a playoff game, ever.
Right.
The Detroit Lions haven't won a playoff game. I'm looking at the numbers here, Max. They haven't won a playoff game since 1991.
Yeah,
That's
it's
30 years.
and before that it was
30
forever.
years.
It's like one playoff win in 60 years. It's crazy. It's crazy in Detroit.
And it's horrible.
It's crazy.
It's horrible. And I mean,
Yeah.
and it's not Matthew Stafford's fault. I mean, he's got a 74-90-1 record. He's 16 games under 500. That's not his fault. He's completed 62% of his passes. That ain't great. That ain't his fault. We know what a stud Matthew Stafford is, and we expect more from him. But the bottom line is, despite the stud that he was, we have zero evidence.
That's why
of what he could do in the postseason.
That's why this season is so important to the Rams and to Stafford, because they have the kind of team that can get to the Super Bowl if he plays well. We will find out about him. But in the regular season, he has the most fourth quarter comebacks.
We have time for that, but we need to find out about this. How about Stephen A's take earlier on Devin Booker being the next Kobe Bryant? Listen to this.
Devin Booker is the next Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
I'm saying it on national television. Devin Booker
said it.
is the next Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
It is official. His first playoff appearance. And the brother's a number one option, averaging over 28, dropped 40 in a triple-double in the first game of the conference finals. And just the way he plays, he's an assassin.
Yep. Is there a question?
Go
You
ahead,
want me to
Max.
respond to it?
Come on, Max. You know the show. Talk to me, Max.
I'll tell you what. I've been calling him the mini Mamba. I mean, this goes back, a long time already with Devin Booker, and I'm not the only one. His game is reminiscent of Kobe's. He was mentored by Kobe. He is fearless like Kobe, and this was no surprise. Yes, you have to go out and do it the way Donovan Mitchell and Jamal Murray did it last year in the playoffs. But if you looked at Devin Booker in the bubble last year, those 8 games, he was the best player in the NBA. When all eyes in the world were on the NBA, like, let's remember the pandemic, what that meant, the kind of attention when they finally started playing again, right? He was the best guy in the league and played lights out. This is no surprise he performed like this in the playoffs, and Stephen A. been calling him the mini Mamba.
Well, I'm glad you remembered that you said that. Congratulations. I appreciate you reminding the audience that you did that. Thank goodness. Here's the deal. Devin Booker is averaging 29 points in his first 11 playoff games. 6-game series against the Lakers, swept the Nuggets in 4, won game 1 against the Los Angeles Clippers. He's scoring 29 points per game on 49% shooting from the field, on 38% shooting from three-point range. The last time we saw him was a couple of days ago. Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, he dropped a triple-double that included 40. 40. Okay? All I'm trying to say to you is this. When I say the next, I'm talking about we've seen this before, albeit on a slightly elevated level. We've seen it. And now there is an heir apparent with a mid-range game, a long-range game, ball handling skills, the ability to create his own shot, a 6'5" frame, okay? This brother is special. And anybody who disagrees with me, I respect Kendrick Perkins. I respect anybody out there that might have a different opinion. But when I give a damn, I'll be sure to let y'all know, because I don't. I know I'm right about this, and I believe that Devin Booker will validate my claims tonight in game 2. That's why I traveled to hell of Phoenix. I ain't traveled to Phoenix for no reason. I traveled here for Devin Booker.
I think so, yeah.
Guess what? We'll be here tomorrow to break it all down. Stephen A., have fun. Be safe, okay? Take care of yourself out there.